Let's start with why any of this. We're going through the cities on the lists that are out there. Best places to live, best places to expatriate and start a new life outside of your home country, outside of the West. So this whole trip started as me trying to move through those places and see it for myself and just, is there any truth to it? So the reason why I started these videos anyway, to begin with, was like the memory fades after I spent 2 months in Thailand, and whatever you're doing at this time, 2 towns ago, you're already forgetting the details of what the high points and low points and the lessons you learned and the pro tips you were taking away from everything. So it started out just as my private little journal, but I felt compelled to make it such that if I'm gonna do it at all and somebody stumbles upon it, that it's of value to them. Because I know back when I was in the United States, mentally and emotionally preparing for this, or something like this, I was really hungry for content that could address this really niche, kind of narrow spectrum of needs and search criteria. There's just so much content being produced by a really young crowd that I feel like is either really party hungry, selfie hunting, and kind of sensationalizing things, really putting the polish on everything and avoiding talking about the dirtier parts of things. And that's fine, there's a huge market for that. But what I started discovering very quickly was how inaccurate it starts to be as your experience unfolds. That was really got under my skin. Just how different my experience was top to bottom from the way it's being advertised in articles and content out there. For my own memory, I just wanted to parse out the reality from making it too glittery. And it just doesn't do anybody any favors. This growing body of people from Western nations, especially the United States, that are looking for other places for their money to go further where they can live a more peaceful life. So we're going through the lists, looking for our place. Or our places. Because the more this goes on, right? This is my 3rd country on this trip, my 33rd country overall in my life. And doing it this way, from this mindset, is a completely different experience than when you are leisure traveling, you're on a really tight timeline traveling, you're just taking advantage of holiday time at work, and you're trying to check off a to-do list as fast as you can of seeing as many things, getting those pictures, move on. And then when you get home, you're even more exhausted than when you left, so you need a vacation from the vacation. And I'm really trying to avoid that entirely, because it's almost like philosophically, this is a whole new life where you are living as a traveler, which is really hard to wrap your brain around. You would think that would be super straightforward, simple, and the time of your life, but the reality is there's challenges that pop up all the time. There's setbacks all the time. So you have to pace yourself. You have to slow down. There is a novelty fatigue that can happen if you get too stressed out and you're moving too quickly and not doing self-care, not getting enough rest. So I really try to keep a slow to moderate pace. So back to the point of not just finding my place, but finding my several places. 8 months now I've been out doing this. And one of the things, the principles that's being reinforced for me inside of my head, my inner monologue, during this experience and about this experience is embracing the idea of slow travel, but there is a body of people, a nomad type of people who they do their business from abroad, or they set up businesses wherever they're at, but they're staying much longer periods of time in a single place, 3 months at a time, 4 different places in a calendar year, or 4 months at a time, 3 different. You get the point where you're not just staying a week or a month. I mean, you're really getting comfortable in a place and kind of building a life, setting up a life there, but you're not staying long enough that your residency is becoming a question, and then getting called into question your tax obligations and liabilities. So it's really trying to dance this perfect line. And I'm loving that idea. The more time goes on, for a couple of reasons, because the more I'm exploring from this new mindset, the more I realize, oh my gosh, like the world is such a big place and there's so much to see. There's just so much to see. So why would you? Why would you from your couch in the United States just be like, oh, I'm gonna move to somewhere in Latin America and stay there forever? Why? There's so much to see.